And then you made the topic says emotional boundaries. Emotional boundaries. Coming home. Now, my counselor. Counselor. Oh, the fire call.
Emotional boundaries. The can yenti as obi ane na tinka. All right, because obi ane na tinka, everybody has a way they hear, they receive,
right.
And they also ponder on words.
That's right.
We are not the same.
It's true.
For example, what will offend Valerie is not what will offend me.
That's true.
What will make Valerie happy is what might offend me.
That's true.
What Valerie will laugh over, look over, is something I pay attention to. And so when we want to talk about emotional boundaries,
right?
Yes, and then the because will be a quite ben abefaswa, will be kurawatinka. Quite ben abefaswa, ube to me, ama quite watinka, ente wonka.
That's right.
Quite ben abefaswa, woma quite ma watinka. For example, how to manage your anger. For example, how do I manage it from my emotions?
That's right.
When we are talking about emotional boundaries, say, then I met to me a mean
that's right.
So I wrote here, I said emotional boundaries are personal limits you set to protect your mental and emotional well-being by defining your emotional space and responsibilities in relation. All right, so emotional boundaries are personal limits.
Right.
You set to protect your mental and emotional well-being.
Right.
Naturally, say you can emotional boundaries and you can fapemwa what the two ma watenka say mini.
Yeah.
Say minya tinka bi wo assembly amikunu me yere waka. I was saying to me set bank bobi matinka say me prima matinka dum pempe. For example, assembly kind of yemi ya pempe me kebi chire no.
Of course.
Na so ma set bank bobi. Me see wo obi say me prima me yesa. So when we talk about emotional boundaries, it means that nanka mabufu betumi edum pempe so say nanka matinka chire me say me fa de mono na so me ma kwan sa. So why do you do that? You do that especially because you want to emotionally and mentally not to do something that you regret tomorrow.
That's true.
And so then we go back to the lessons I wrote here. The reason why you need to set emotional boundaries and it is important to control your emotions. Number one, taking responsibilities for your thoughts and your feelings.
Okay.
It helps you to take responsibilities for your thoughts and your feelings. In other words, you recognize your feelings and you own it. When we say, "Matenka kasachere me," it becomes a thought in my mind.
Right. When
the thought comes into my mind, sometimes if the heart is not able to process it well, out of my thought and my mind, I say it.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is that once I set emotional boundaries, be responsible over my thoughts and my emotions.
That's true.
A guide them say, "Shana wanka we now catch it on say ubufum pa we the."
That's it.
The everybody say if we are talking about emotional boundaries in marriages and relationships, it helps you take responsibilities for your thoughts. Because yet way Valerie. See, I know a bit in the award, and I find the ever one in the chimpera, and you may cost what you have.
That's right.
Now, he says, Sabi, our dear moon, and I'm proud chairman and Tokwesi. Now, make out yourself hoofy. Sabi, when you time. We are Sabi, bear my phone. Sabi, where you were about, wouldn't you yansa? Send some wing, yanka. Now, so much to me, because I have not been able to set emotional boundaries. Me shut down and see a bang and mama think and me no me bufu na asem hye me na me eba me say me feelings no right me thoughts no I feel like talking about to me ka say maka me can we ye no me ho atobe
right
meanwhile the oka ye no ho na atowo na so epra obi akoma ho na atowo na so ahye obi akoma ho na atowo na so hwade e di wo bi dem.
That's true.
E wona adwene mu ni susuye mu ni ni pedua mu. The okay, ebi awanya the next 10 years of his life or her life. One namu no kai sa asem no se wo ho kankan a Now we ban pass on in the bed. Both of who can arrange. If you are not able to set boundaries over your emotions and you want to talk out of your thoughts and your feelings, you will in fact you will hurt people.
That's right.
You will not just hurt people, you will kill people's emotions. What will help you do this? Set emotional boundaries. Me be chere me ho say tie na na yaw di wa Donkoh say me bu fum pa in same way me free manoma. Apart from the help of the Lord, when humanly, I'm going to take responsibility of my emotions. So me ma coin, and my main country me fiancé Valerie say, or your bathroom sebe.
That's right.
It's your before the beba. Ade bi betumi ahye me. There we na so many there me ya so many. So once I have set emotional boundaries, there are words out of my thought and my feelings that will not proceed out of my mouth.
That's true.
It's when we are setting emotional boundaries, we are saying that you are taking responsibilities of your thoughts and your feelings. In other words, you own your feeling. Me, Matinka, me is my responsibility. Eti, when a begum krana and yawadia krana a gentleman will become tokwa. So I own my feelings.
That's right.
I will not talk. I have set boundaries for myself.
That's true.
Betina mama says something, but it's okay. Betina say me. But I own my feelings.
Right.
And yes, I trust me, there are times you will lose temper. And the things you will do, you will regret. True. So number one, setting boundaries. It helps you take responsibility of your thoughts and your feelings.
Okay.
Number two, it makes you live uncomfortable situations. You step away from conversations or situations that makes you feel unsafe or drained. And I repeat, setting emotional boundaries or emotional boundaries in marriages and relationships, it makes you live uncomfortable situations. You live it. You stay away from conversations or situations that make you feel unsafe or drained. For example, say me set emotional boundaries, and I say matenka. But the two many catch them and say me prima matenka nye we ya. The ebe boa me amebe ye. E to de bi ni e bon komo. Na nkomo no bitimi say, "Wo ya meyere, wo ya mikunu." Ba bia nkomo ikoi, eye de ase impapa mu entity mu, ase ba ku mbu ba ko, e ba me because I've been able to set boundaries. Wo ye me. And baby can me ma me mpo ne me papa. Me nje so. Why? Because this conversation can drain me. It's an unsafe communication. And young komodia, a young connection komodi. And young komodia, a dear nijeba, a young komodia, dear rehoba. I want to avoid it. I want to avoid it. That is why I said, live uncomfortable situations. Step away from conversations or situations that make you feel unsafe. Leave it. Leave uncle. So for example, you will feel nakasakasa baptisa ba kudibuofu. When you are better I will leave it. And now can be crying na master mede. Na send your baby and say 120. It's okay. A honor de many pebi. Edima wo baby and no ya. I won't set emotional boundaries. Edima baby and in Sahano. I won't set it. I used to be like that. When you get angry and it's like you want to express the anger through any medium, especially some of the men. They don't care what they are saying to the woman. Or Tony said they don't care what the hand can do. It means that in fact you don't have respect for your emotions. It means that I'm sorry, you've lost discipline. You are not, the Bible says that a man without self-control is like a city without a wall.
That's right.
Imagine that I have not been able to set emotional boundaries. I am like a man who lives an empty life, but I think that I'm working well. To me, namu nyina za me nyo obi asa. Enipa kra sere me, ba me dem free say me ye bebe wo ye bumi. So when you are a man or a woman who wants to take your relationship to the next level, set emotional boundaries. Please set it. Live uncomfortable situations. And to be there ba be ma wo hwe be ha dwan, no afa wo shirt no api. No atu ka no afifie. Se fie kura na won na wo de fifie menda because e bia wo bekui de be si na anye e bia wo ye wo ba de e bekui na anye wo de fifie oba 3 days. Leave it. That is how you set boundaries. And you feel like e bia conversation kura wo kunde ba na it's bringing anger gradually. We say ukunu oyere ana momienu empratwefo mienu bonkoma tims enkomo bi wa mo ba na se trigger anger tims ade eba bosa kwa the voice kosoro. Please stay away. Live uncomfortable situations. Stay away. Step away from conversations or situations that makes you feel unsafe or drained. Yeah, you to be bonkomo bi wi on. Now dan paso na dwuni nyina wonda. Cause in some attitude wo no, say bi kun the kind. No, me yeri na tumi bi na no kan say mo kire me. No, me fiancé. No, I don't think I'm safe. No, how? And I'm dwuni na be sleep. It is draining you. Your boundaries was set. It say me no ka say na me say obesa wo broso a me ja ho. Me avoid it.
What is the difference between somebody being emotionally abusive and somebody who is, trying to set emotional boundaries? Okay.
All right. So you see, anything I present to my partner that drains him or her is a sign of emotional abuse.
That's it.
Period.
That's it.
And so what happens is that, Valerie, you will be a mekokonye. And sometimes, uye funu. As so the diagram triggers my anger.
Right.
And I think that it's not helping. I mean, cross triggers my anger. Baby, I make her say, okay, uye funu. Saka sana o kan free obo aseba no. Uye funu. Oh, for your school, uye funu. It means that hey, we are John. Hey, agrodi. Me so kan ye John na in fact. Mo me ye John say. Do there be o taika. My din na me hwe.
Right.
Send ye be ya me bunkofu. Na me tiatia. Now when you're offended, I need to communicate say saka sana me pe. This one is not an abuse. An abusive character or controlling character.
Right.
I am actually communicating my boundaries that I deal with mempe. So, for example, a wife can look at the husband and say, "Unima grudi."
That's it.
And you grown no nimdi. Was setting boundaries on pa grubi. It will be now share Charles Benjamin Kosa.
Right.
Charles Benjamin Kosa dear, only me belashimo. What we dear groovy, a mupi, and a movie, and a mokoba, what you can hear jaws, so say a jaw, So I have seen people complain, say, me kunima grudi, me you know, my group, doing the agrokakra and the buafu, and your boundaries. But these boundaries must be communicated.
That's it.
Yes, I feel like you are abusing my emotion. And so, like I said, mwamia, na mende wakai bebwami.
Right.
Nemo msamenka.
That's right.
All right. So we are still dealing with the subject, emotional boundaries, right?
Yes, sir.
Emotional boundaries in marriages and also in relationship. The reason why emotional boundaries are also important in your marriage and relationship, and it helps you practice saying no to what you don't like.
That's true.
Learn to say no without guilt or excessive explanation. Learn it. Learn to say no. Learn it. You see, unfortunately for us, because we don't allow ourselves to learn, we think that when you are in a marriage or relationship and you are actually discussing something with your partner and they say no, it means they don't respect you. Valerie.
Yes, sir.
Semi wadewo. O wade me.
Yeah.
Ya twen yam pana. Na ye bebo awade ye ho abrabo daachia.
Right.
Look, the fact that I'm your wife or your husband doesn't make me dumb. The fact that I'm your husband doesn't make me dumb. Why? I still have my right to express myself. Awade ye nkwasom, nye slavery.
That's true.
It's yenti asese me bo ade obi baba na obi babema. Mitumi nka ne bodwo anhyani yam sa enka se me kasa ye fine. I am the man. Listen, the Bible says submit to me.
Right.
Submission makes a woman. But understand that a man's authority does not make a woman useless. To me ni na homodene.
Right.
Ene inshira nyabedi ehira no se oba nhye wase emma wakonya se ma woba anyemumu. Mema ni nya kasa nkasa. Into wakasa na chese bo mu ade. Na so ne anti ase ese wo ban so ahombarase e ma na konya se won kasa mboro na hoden so.
No kre.
Enti mema wo ba bi so nya na adwene se kasa bi ameka bi amaka emwa.
That's it.
And yes na akoye se be ma no so won bu ni tumi ni na hoden.
That's it. I like the balance.
Yes. So yenti ase ese setting emotional boundaries, it gives me the opportunity to say no. Say no. Say no. So you are going to practice saying no. And then let your husband, your wife understand that part. Now, one in our work, now they are say no buaka. Now, what can we guess? Why you need jail?
It's true.
Because then it's not going to work. But don't also say that me can no. And yes, or Becca say. Me moadie or Becca say. Be on or Becca be a menfa. Or Becca say, as a chairman, it doesn't make sense. Because you see, sometimes they know it's good to save the life of the family. If you say yes to everything the man said as a woman, sometimes the result is no good. And if we are to suffer, all of us will suffer.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, you're better. You need Papa Akon, better, and what I say, me who yank can no. And I can no sukra ko beka saying there be a mekan routine a man can no wrong. Learn how and practice how to say no when you know that the decision of the family is not helping. It is called emotional boundaries. Now bekan yes. For example, I am sorry to say this. I'm sorry if you don't understand. I'm sorry. You have your right to think. For example, you want to have sex with your wife and she says no. You don't force her. Don't. Wrong. And then also you see, because I said this, or baby speaker saying they know it's wrong. You are sinning against God and humanity. Emotional boundaries. Yeah, I can tell you boldly and with my chest out that a lot of men and women, they've lost their identity in marriages. I have seen people change, become who they were not, simply because they want to adjust to something they cannot adjust to.
Tell me about it.
And what we see what baby one the shooting the man and care ya say baby suban in the mind na care ya say the reason why ya say they say they've lost their identity. Yeah, will be our can no ko pa agro ne se de. Is it not wonderful that utumi share will be na mu no keleke bu di agro mo sere e won prantwen ba ko bi da de bi amfa. Oni ni di agro kakra ne toko esi. Oni ni di somebody has lost their, and I can tell you this. Obi our relationship that will free mo ba no. Yamboano we losing identity da.
Right.
It you all be fanwa who na very identity amano. Who na be want to restore him or her.
Right.
Because bibi anu wa ye dada no eko eni obi we nya ne sa from the branch from the beginning. We nya ne sa from the past relationship or the past marriage. You are the one to help them for the identity to be restored.
Okay.
When we talk about setting boundaries, it helps you maintain your identity. Ema wenyera, wo sonkonye enyera. Sani a wote a na eboa wo no, eno a we jovial, we how do we call it? We playful. We very sensitive to matters. We this, we that. And also how the enyera. I've seen a lot of women queer.
Okay.
A lot of men queer.
Right.
Just to please somebody. In the name of marriage. No. If who you are is good, don't change it.
That's true.
If who you are is good, don't change it. Unless who you are, it's not helping your new, relationship or marriage. Then possibly you can change it. And that one doesn't even let you lose your identity. It helps you find another identity that you can add to the old identity. That makes you grow in your steps in marriage.
Okay.
What must say? And so please, when we talk about emotional boundaries, please, it helps you maintain your identity.
Okay.
So that unko rawa diemu na uyo bi ananka wonware na yo bi opagurudi ba wako wade be maybe adebia no omuna. You've lost it. No sense of humor.
On penipa, but
no sense of humor.
Right.
Now to me nsere, now to me monkobo. Because you don't know what you will say that might offend him or her.
That will trigger the person.
So please, emotional boundaries helps you maintain your identity. Okay. And the last two, avoid emotional dumping. Setting emotional boundaries helps you avoid emotional dumping. What's in your tunyombegu ballers? Have you realized that sometimes there are things in the baller you to go fire from man?
It's true.
Thank you. Set boundaries to prevent people from bringing things that will affect your emotions to affect your partner.
That's right.
That's right. Avoid emotional dumping. Avoid emotional dumping.
That is it.
Avoid it.
That is it.
Avoid it. Avoid it. I don't know how to explain it again. Avoid it.
Obi ashawa bufu. wabafie oba no busa wasem, you know, you are going through
Avoid it.
But you don't have to dump it on the person.
Wakwa ejuma. Yes, you had a stressful day.
Right.
But waba, not what dump. Like I said, because you are down, it must affect everybody in the house.
It doesn't add up.
You enter the house, you don't talk to your wife, your children, everybody's, it's like, at the end, what they are beefy. No. Oh, boss, you know when your issue as oba, what beefy, no, baby, how was your day? Please. I'm not in the mood to talk.
Hey.
Emotional dumping. No, set emotional boundaries. Emotional boundaries. Memma will bufo free kurum. Please put it at the back of the door. Once you knock the door like this, call. You enter like, hey, Charlie, what I want to say. Oh, yeah. Then when later you are done eating everything, or even on the dining table, or where you say, Charlie, and then you man in your crowd.
Right.
What counts? Oh, Charlie, sorry. No, please, don't come home and dump me simply because your mood is bad. Your mood must not affect my mood.
That's it.
Emotion. So set emotional boundaries. Know where you exercise your anger, and know where you control your anger.
Obin Sobeka said, what if the person that you're asking us not to dump on is the one causing the triggers?
Let's talk about it. You ever understand me on the TV? You want our courses and no sway. To many, baby, be any Jew about temper.
Right.
Sharing number for the co-workers, friends, you know, hey. Or baby, Fiona was so sharing him.
Right.
Oh, or baby, so any power, you or baby was
dang.
Me called two
Oh.
emotional dumping. No, set emotional boundaries.
That's it.
It was a urefia when you are good evening. Obi awo nyanya fe na kola dia mami waka mufia if you have them giving namoso muntua fees dem pe bia munya di
I do make phone call.
No. Yeah, then let's also enter the house.
Right.
Where the man and the woman do not understand something about themselves.
That's it.
We don't take it to the children.
That's true.
Emotional dumping. We should avoid emotional dumping.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about it. But don't bring the anger to the house to make everybody feel bad.
Right.
And less of themselves. Set emotional boundaries.
Right.
Know where to express your anger.
Right.
And where to control and when to control your
Beautiful.
anger. Thank you very much.